Hi, John. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Okay, so who we have on the line today is Jon Brush. And why don't you introduce yourself, John, and tell everybody who you are?
My name is Jon Brush, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I am April LaJune's second eldest son.
Second eldest son?
Yes, I am her second born.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where you are in the lineup of the children, because I understand there was 7, and I know one had passed away. So you're the second to the eldest. Okay, we had the second to the youngest, and now the second to the eldest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the middle children.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some information that we have gotten from people that I wanted to check with you on and see what your knowledge is. The first thing that we've gotten a lot of information on recently was the eBay scam that April was running. So can you tell us kind of how that got started and what that was all about, or at least to your knowledge?
Okay, yeah. So from what I understand, now I never lived with her during this period, but from all the information I have is from my siblings.
Okay.
One of them was actually Victoria. So what she would do, from my understanding, is the eBay thing started with selling mystery boxes. So she would label these boxes as having like different items in them. So she would make it sound like one box had possibly a really nice car in it, and maybe like items established with that car.
Oh, okay.
And then when you would purchase that mystery box, and they would go up for bidding, so they might start out at $100 or so. But as you read the description, and you're like, oh man, this sounds freaking amazing, they start going up, you know. And then when you purchase that box and you open it up, it might have like a Porsche Hot Wheel in it, and maybe a steering wheel cover, or whatever could still fall in the category of the description, but it wasn't what you bid on.
I see. Okay.
So that's kind of how it started. And then as she progressed, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and then how did we get to the actual like falsifying signature part of things? So
I don't actually use eBay, but from what I understand, as you become a more established seller, your ratings go up and you can sell more stuff.
Right.
So in order to make her cash flow better, she started using some of that money to purchase like a printer. And from what I understand, from what I was told, she would take these high-quality printers, and she would find pictures that were like limited edition. Like, I guess they make limited edition pictures, and then they print them out, and there was like so many out there. And what she would do is she would find those, print them off in high quality, and then practice signatures on pieces of paper. I think Victoria talked about that.
Yeah, she did a little.
She'd get them like perfect, and then she'd sign them off and sell them for like $200 or $300.
Wow. Yeah, Victoria said she was even doing things like guitars and all kinds of different equipment, T-shirts, all kinds of different things.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the shadiest thing about this is the way she conducted herself in the background. So, like, what she would do is, once she got into the signatures, when the eBay thing started and she was doing the mystery boxes, she was actually with her third husband.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if she was doing the signatures then, but I know that as it progressed and she ended up separating from the third husband and getting with the new person she's with, Tim, the account and all that really became about pushing those autographed, those signatured items, and everything was in Tim's name.
Oh.
Nothing was linked to her. So the account's deleted now.
Right. Okay. So
But
I
that's
understand
my fault. That's actually my fault.
Oh, it is. It's your fault. How is it your fault?
So, as you see, she blocks people all the time.
Right.
So me and her would get in these political debates on Facebook, and I think she's talked about me calling into a radio show and whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So on Facebook, we would get into these political debates, and she always resorts to name calling. Mm-hmm. You've seen that happen 100 times.
Many times.
She always resorts to that. And sometimes I'll lose my temper with her.
Yeah.
And then I'll say stuff like, well, aren't you glad your people don't know about your eBay scam?
Oh,
and as soon as I would say that, the post would get deleted. She would block me. She'd start sending me nasty text messages. Because I was calling her out on her bullshit.
So did she just eventually delete all of her?
Eventually, she just deleted it and walked away from it and just moved on to her next thing.
I see. Now, you had mentioned something. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What?
Oh, no, you're fine.
I was
just going to say, you can't keep doing something and get called out on it a bunch of times and keep doing it.
Right. Eventually people, pick up on it.
Yeah.
Well,
I was trying to get people to see what she was doing, but she is very...
she twists things
she likes to censor her stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be censored. Don't censor her.
I know you mentioned something about, and so did Victoria, when I had spoken to you earlier, you mentioned something about the certificate of authenticities and her notarizing her own certificate of authenticities. Yeah,
so as you've noticed, I imagine as anybody who goes out and searches her out, she has her LaJune graphics and design.
Yes.
Which is a website that she pushes her web development on.
Right.
And from what I understand, from what she tells me, that's actually where she makes her money. So I don't know how much she's pulling on everything, but where she makes her money is through those websites. And she learned through, doing blogs and stuff that the more people that come to your sites, you can get paid for that.
Yeah, advertising and all of that.
Yeah, so what she does is she stacks up as many websites as she can and then tries to pull people into them and whatnot. But
okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Supposedly that's her biggest source of income is that, which, honestly, if that's all she did, that's not a scam.
No, it's not. I mean, if she was really doing that well,
yeah, why does she do anything else? I don't know. But anyway.
Wow, okay.
Because she does that, what she would do with the eBay thing, in order to get people to feel as if those pictures were legitimate, she created a website where they would get certificates of authenticity from an anonymous source, which was actually her, and then she would notarize those and sell the pictures with those notarized authenticities.
Wow.
And then if a customer had any complaint about it, so one of my siblings told me that if a customer came to her and had gotten a signature appraised from another source, most of the time the appraisals would come back unconfirmed. They couldn't tell. And if the person who had made the purchase was unsatisfied with that and had a complaint with her, she would just refund the money, no questions asked.
Okay.
Because she didn't want to get caught.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how she did it for so long, is if you had a complaint about it, she'd just reimburse you.
I see. Now, I don't mean to cut you off here. I just want to make sure I clarify something. So she had made mention that she's been married to Hansinger for 11 years. So that can't be the truth then, because if she was doing this in 2012, 2014, like Victoria thought, then that would I mean, there's not enough years in there to be married to Hans.
No, when me and my wife got married in 2004, she was still with her third husband. Gosh, Hans Singer didn't come in until.
She gave me that Freddy Krueger.
Gosh, how long ago was that?
Because I'm just thinking that, you know, that's really odd, because I remember hearing her say that after 11 years of marriage, she thought they were going to separate at one point just a couple weeks ago, and there's not enough time in there for...
No, she hasn't. 11 years? No way.
Okay.
No way.
All right. Well, okay, then we'll move on from there. I just was curious.
As long as the kid's been alive?
Yeah, because Tim, when we had Thanksgiving at her house that year, and she made 8 and 8 on the floor, Tim was there.
You think so?
And yes, I distinctly remember Tim being there.
Okay, maybe it was 11 years. Maybe it was 10 or 11 years. She's been doing the eBay thing for a very long time.
Has she? Okay, because, see, Victoria thought it was only for about a year. So, and I thought that seems really strange.
The autographs could have probably been only that long.
Only a year, okay.
She'd been doing the eBay stuff for a long time.
A really long time.
When she did, I think Victoria mentioned the thrift stores.
Yes.
In order to get product for the thrift stores, she would just buy pallets of stuff on eBay.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, so like eBay has been her source for a lot of stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it wasn't until she started doing the autographs and stuff that she switched the account to Tim.
Got it. Okay. All right. There was some confusion there.
So I imagine, because I didn't live with her then, so I imagine what had happened was she had switched all that stuff over.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, she'd been doing the eBay stuff for a long time.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense now. All right. Well, your sister mentioned something about some identity theft within the family that took place on an automobile.
Yeah, so apparently she was living in Connecticut, and she either purchased a vehicle in my brother's name, or she had somehow was able to forge his signature for a cosigner. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but nobody had known this until my brother got a phone call. He gets this phone call saying that he owes all this money on this car. And he's like, I didn't sign for anything. Who is this associated with? And they're like, oh, it's April McGill.
Wow.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm not paying for that. I'm not none of this. I'll call you back. So he takes a week, and he gets a hold of her, and he acts all buddy-buddy with her, ends up getting her phone number, her address, all the information that he needs. He calls the guy for the car. He gives her all that information. And as far as we know, he's never been called back. So if they went and picked up the car or whatever happened, I'm not sure. But, yeah, we just had that discussion the other day. I didn't actually know she had done that.
I would say that's a particular concern, and the reason why is if you're going to do it to one of your own kids, and you've got, see, the scam that she's running right now, unfortunately, entails a lot of really sensitive information that people are sending into her. So
okay, now see, here's my thing with that.
Okay.
She is running Durango Credit Repair. If you pull all the way down to Durango Credit Repair and look at who created that site, it's a LaJune website.
Oh,
She's the one running. She's the one running that Durango Credit Repair.
Right.
So if you're using Durango Credit Repair, and she's been in trouble for identity theft, you have fun getting your credit repaired from Durango Credit Repair.
So has she
never do that.
Has she actually been prosecuted or an attempted prosecution for identity theft?
I don't know if she's ever been prosecuted, but
but we know
she's
about
obviously done it.
But
she's obviously done it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can not just the credit repair scenario, but the fact that people are sending their birth certificates in, They're sending in their social security cards. Yeah, I mean,
Are they really?
Yes, that's part of how she gets the packages done, is they send in their birth certificates, they send in their social security cards, copies of their driver's license.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Are you
they
serious?
do. I'm serious. This is one of the reasons I've been so concerned.
So she worked for the airlines one time, and she calls us all up, and she's like, look, if I can have your birth certificates to prove to the airlines that you guys are my kids, you guys can fly for free every once in a while. And all of us, every last one of us, were like, no, I'm not giving you my birth certificate. I know your history. Never, ever in the history of this world, in the afterlife, I would never give you my information. Now, here's the gross thing about this, is she has a dead kid.
Right. Right.
My sister would be 30, 31 now.
Uh-huh.
My mom doesn't look that old.
No,
she could easily take that identity and use it for however she wanted.
Wow.
If I knew how to look up my sister's information to find out if someone was using it, I guarantee you if it was being used, it's her.
My goodness, that's a big statement, John.
And the thing is how do you know what she's been doing when she has 8 different aliases? Right.
Yeah, I mean, that is my understanding. There's 8 different ones.
There's April Noland, April Brush, April McGill, April Henneman, Cindy Henneman, and there's 2 different Cindys. So there's a Cindy E. Henneman. So Cindy E. Henneman. And then there's a Sindi Henneman.
Wow.
So there's 2 different Cindys.
Okay.
And then you have April Hansinger, April LaJune, and any variation thereof. And I guarantee you that E in the Cindy E. Henneman is my sister's name.
Wow.
So I bet you it's Cindy Elizabeth Henneman. She's using that name. When is she going to just drop all of it and become Elizabeth whatever?
Oh. Well, let's go into a little bit about, yeah, I don't know.
That was a little off track, but I think people need to know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's really hard. That's really harsh. I mean, I get why you're saying it. It makes sense to me why you're saying it, and I think it's great that you're getting it out there, but
people need to know that when they mess with her, they're messing with a bunch of different people.
Right. That's true. People do need to know that.
And if they don't know her aliases, she's going to pop up on YouTube as somebody else. She's going to pop up in another town somewhere else. And she's going to be like, oh, April, I don't know who that is. I'm this person. When Victoria had her video come out, she was live streaming.
Wow.
And she got told about it.
Yeah.
And she instantly denied that Victoria was her daughter. She will deny until the day comes that she gets taken in.
Yeah, we've actually witnessed all of that denying, no matter what her clients say. Yeah, we've witnessed it. Well, let me ask you about this law school thing. She claims that she's in law school. Now, my understanding is that she doesn't have an undergraduate's degree. Is that your understanding also?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I understand, the only education that she has would be she went to the University of Columbia for journalism, which didn't actually pan out, and she went then to cosmetology school, and she ended up getting her license, and she ended up, when the renewal process came, from what my dad told me, she just didn't renew it, and it ended up being lost. And I don't know the process of gaining it again. I don't know if you just have to pay for it or whatnot. But, yeah, she had lost that. And other than that, she doesn't have any other education other than that, except what she's been self-taught.
Okay.
So she might have an undergraduate at Google, but
right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So, and as far as you know, she never sold any real estate, so she didn't have a real estate license.
As far as I know, no.
Okay.
She's not. The only thing I know of that she has that's like significant is she is her own notary.
Right, right. Okay, well, the reason I'm asking these questions is because these are things that she has claimed when she was online. So, like, for example, my next question is, did she ever actually work for or do accounting for an accounting firm? Because that's something that she has said many times.
As far as I know, she's never been responsible for anyone else's money.
Okay.
Not in a business aspect, in that sort of way.
Okay. All right.
I mean, she was a waitress at a casino. I don't know if that makes... that has to do with other people's money.
Yeah, that's not exactly working for an accounting firm.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, finally, let me just ask you this last question here, and then I'm going to go ahead and leave the floor open for you to say everything you would like to say. I have received an email very recently with regards to a Mr. Gary Parrish from Antonio, Colorado. And the statement that was made was that there was $60,000 that was allegedly stolen by April and her husband, along with some Social Security checks. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I know vaguely about it. So everything I know is kind of like just stories I've been told, so it's all kind of alleged. But from what I know, she was going to start this restaurant. And what she needed was somebody to invest in that restaurant because she didn't have the money.
Okay.
Because her credit is so bad, she needed to get somebody to help her.
Right.
Well, she's very manipulative. She likes to gain people's trust to get things done. So, like, she'll go to different, I don't know if she found him this way, but she'll go to different churches and gain people's trust so that she can get bills paid or establish a place to live. And she'll get people to co-sign for her through the aspects of Christianity. It's something she just does. So I don't know if she pulled him in that way or what, but she ended up gaining his trust and getting him to either sell or more, like do a second mortgage on his house or something.
Okay.
Where that ended up paying for the restaurant, or at least getting it started.
Okay, so that must be the $60,000 then?
I believe so.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I have no idea. $60,000, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Like, I didn't even know it was that much.
Yeah, I mean, this is an email that I received from someone who claims to be the daughter of one of the bed and breakfasts that she worked at, and says that this is the case, that $60,000 was taken from this man, and along with a bunch of Social Security checks.
Well, I'm glad other people know about this because I didn't think other people did. So she ended up having her business fail. And he had lost everything, so he moved in with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
The gentleman moved in with her, this Mr. Parrish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gary Parrish ended up moving in with him, in with her.
Okay.
He moved in with her.
I see.
So he was living with April and Tim. They were all living together. And I don't exactly know what happened, but he ended up having a stroke, and she had to take care of him.
Okay.
Well, at that time, they didn't have the business, so there was no money coming in. And I imagine you said there were Social Security checks involved?
Uh-huh, yeah.
I imagine that's where this comes in, because I didn't know about that.
So the Social Security checks then would have probably...
I imagine that probably sustained them for a little bit while they were taking care of Gary and the business was not happening. Now, I imagine she was also pulling in money from the websites because she's always maintaining that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I imagine there was that on the side too, but I imagine most of it was probably coming from those Social Security checks, which is really gross. I did not know that. That makes it even worse.
Well, and I have not had the opportunity to actually pick up and call this person back, but I will be doing that soon, and we'll have a little bit more information on that scenario. But I did receive that email, and it was very close to some other information that had been forwarded. So I just wanted to check and see what you knew on that. So thank you for kind of clarifying that a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let you speak to the people that are considering getting into business with April in terms of buying these packages and, maybe thinking about purchasing things from her, and just let you say whatever you feel is going to be best and how, in terms of how you feel about the scenario and what you think would help people most.
Well, I think what people need to understand is that if you're going to go online and try to do something to fix your credit and somebody has this idea that seems too good to be true, you should probably double check anything and everything they say.
Yeah.
Just first and foremost, do not believe anything anyone tells you.
Yeah.
And that is coming from the horse's mouth.
Right.
Because that's what she taught me to do.
Right. Right.
She taught me that. So that's from April.
Yeah. Well, it's good advice.
From April's mouth.
Very good advice.
From April's mouth, if you see something too good to be true, double check it and make sure that it's not there to scam you. And I think the reason she told me that is because she's been doing it the entire time.
Yeah.
I can't really tell anybody what to do.
Right.
But I would just say that if you're going to go and look at these people, make sure to invest the time that you're watching them, invest the same amount of time investigating them.
I've said many times on my channel, you really need to actually research your guru before you start buying things from them.
Yes, absolutely. Not only researching them, but research the product that they're selling,
right,
or pushing. Find out what other people have had happen to them. Because when I look through the comments on her stuff, it seems like they're just taking it for face value,
right,
and trusting her. And the number one thing I can say is, don't trust anyone, even your mother.
Oh, my goodness. It's not funny, but the way you put it was kind of funny.
It is funny. It's not funny, but that's what makes it funny.
Well, I think that it's wonderful that you've come forward, John. You and your sister are very courageous in doing so. I know these interviews are never easy when they involve family, but right is right. And, I certainly hope that people will pay closer attention now that you've both come forward. I think they probably will. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's like she said, you'll be judged in the end.
Yeah, it's always amazing when I hear her say that, because I think to myself, what you're doing, it isn't something that's going to work. You know that it's a scam. How in the world? I don't know how you can talk out of both sides of your face like that. I've never been a person who's been able to really do that successfully. So I don't know. When I see that happening, it makes me really uneasy.
It's very cringeworthy.
Yeah.
And it's half the reason I have to say something, because she taught us to be good people. She taught us to be generous to people. Everything that she pushes out there with how her kids are, for the most part, it's actually pretty true. We're very well-established people. I've been married for 13 years. I've had the same job for 10 years.
Oh, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I do my best at whatever I put my mind to. She talks about that when we're not trying to talk to her.
Right.
You notice that.
Mm-hmm.
You notice as soon when we're not talking to her, we're the best kids in the world. As soon as we pop on and say something to her, we're a bunch of libtards who need to shut our holes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I found that to be very interesting the other day. It was harsh to watch, but yeah, I know.
No, it's hilarious. We actually really love doing it. It's probably going to get us in trouble one day, but you know what? It's like, I don't know if you can go back and listen to any of her America Matters blog talk radio shows.
Yeah, they're all online.
I am on them. I am on them a lot. Go back and listen to them.
I've heard her say your name more than once, and but the sad part to me is
she calls me her stalker.
Yes, a stalker instead of a son, right?
Yes.
Right.
I always tell her, Mom, I love you, because I do. This is not the scenario I want to be running through. I prefer her to just have a job at Hobby Lobby and we come over for Christmas to her little apartment and stuff. That'd be perfect.
Right.
But, that's not the family we're in. So, I guess I'm just going to have to do what she's taught me to do. And
it sounds like you're doing really well for yourself. And I want to thank you so much for coming forward. And I know everybody will really appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and end the interview now. So from this point forward, it's just going to be you and me, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.